Welcome back to the Saturday evening edition of iChatBall. My name's Baller. The matches are done, but I'm not. Let's chat ball. Hello guys, welcome back to today's show. A day late, but nevertheless, let's chat ball. Let's have a look at the first game at the top there. Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Late goal from Kai Havertz, 88th minute, 2 minutes from time. But one thing you will find with Arsenal is they are very dogged. When they get that ball, they have 64% possession. And the pass accuracy is 82%. It's hard to get it off of them. And they're also now solid in defence, which is very familiar from an old Arsenal team. Mr. Arsene Wenger, Tony Adams, Lee, what's the left back called? And Martin Keown, those type of players. Solid team. Good midfield and good attackers up top. You're always going to be in the mix. Nevertheless, Arsenal take the points with a 1-0 away win. Look at those passes attempted. Nice from both teams, actually. Brentford's 294, 190 out of that. And Arsenal's 503 and 412 completed. Really, really good game. Activity all over the pitch. But Arsenal take the points. On to the next one. That was Burnley 1, West Ham 2. Two late goals from West Ham, bringing them from nowhere to take their points. Jay Rodriguez with a 48th minute penalty to give Burnley the lead. I'm sure they were thinking they were going to be nicking the points, but West Ham in the 86th minute with Mubama and Souček 90 plus 1 minutes. Let's have a look at the stats for the game itself. Very close with expected goals. 1.27 Burnley, 1.03 for West Ham, but they took the points there. They got very close with possession, 49 to the Hammers and 51 to Burnley. Pass accuracy also very close, so quite an even game. But at the end of the day, West Ham take those points and head back to East London. Burnley, better luck next time. Luton 2, Crystal Palace 1. My boys. Now, I'm not sure what it is. We should be sponsored by maybe someone like Samaritans or UNICEF. Because anyone who's ever on a bad run, we just seem to give them points. I'm sure we had 61% possession. 62, 60, 61% possession. Crystal Palace had 61% possession. It doesn't usually even happen. Luton, one thing I have said about this team, which is why I think this team will survive, is their battling qualities, which you saw yesterday. If you see the footage, you will see that this team is dogged. They're battlers. They will not give you a free challenge, a free tackle, a free header. That's what's going to get them points. That's exactly what happened yesterday. You have to say Crystal Palace very poor with both goals. The ball floated across from the right side of the pitch across the box. Anderson left it, the keeper left it, striker got in. It doesn't matter how it goes in. Crystal Palace, learn your lessons. We need to be active in this winter transfer window. We need a new right back. Joe Ward, thank you for your service. Great player, but it's becoming obvious that you are pace-wise. You're being. I don't want to be cruel to Joe Walker's great player for Crystal Palace, but he's being targeted and skinned by players who are younger than him and faster. Can't do nothing about that. If it's a battle, Joe Ward will be by your side the whole time. Same with Tyrick Mitchell. I'm not so sure about Mr. Mitchell on the left side there. He's usually either great or not great. He's targeted fairly often. But Luton, well done. You took the points with 39% possession. 3-3-4 attempted, 2-4-7 completed. Look at our passes. We had the majority of the ball. We were moving it around nicely, but we should be sponsored by Bimming Crab Paste. Salmon's Crab Paste, because everything's sideways. Sideways, sideways, sideways. Oh, let's venture forward a little bit. Let's go sideways. And another thing I'd like to get off my chest as well. Why do we only play the football that we can play when we go a goal behind? Can someone please tell me in the comments why? But Luton, hats off to you. Goals expected 0.9. Well, that makes a mockery of that result, doesn't it? Luton beat Crystal Palace 2-1. By the way, Elise, have you seen that goal? Oh, the boy's back. Bad injury blows for Palace yesterday. Ezer and Doucouré. The Doucouré one looks quite serious. I think we'll not be seeing him till late this season, even maybe next season. That's a big blow for Palace. But Luton, well done. Is it Mengi or Mengi on the 72nd minute? Palace equalised within 3 minutes by Elise. Absolutely brilliant strike. Coming from the left, jinked inside, left foot, bang, straight into the opposite corner. Great goal. Then we was literally on top for a little bit, and then we continue to do this. But Luton, well done. This is the reason you're going to survive. Just hope it's not at my team's expense. The next one, Man City, Liverpool. Sorry about that. Man City, Liverpool. Sorry, I'm just looking at my predictions for the actual games I've been talking about. Man City, Liverpool, I predicted that as a 3-2. Luton, Palace, I predicted it as a 1-0 away win for Palace. Let me just go back. Which ones have I? Brentford, Arsenal, I predicted as a 2-1 away win for the Arsenal. Burnley, West Ham, I predicted 2-1 to West Ham. So, got that one bang on. Luton, as I said, beating us 2-1, but I predicted a 1-0 away win. And the next one, I can play catch up a little bit. Man City 1, Liverpool 1. I predicted that as a bonanza. I predicted that as a 3-2 win for, can you guess who? Yeah, 3-2 home win for Manchester City. Now, you have to take your hat off to this guy. Erling, that should be Brute, shouldn't it? This guy's absolutely a beast. The fastest player, I think, is in Premier League history to 50 goals in, I think it's 49 games, if I'm not wrong. Taking the lead for Man City on the 27th minute. But Alexander Arnold with a great strike from the edge of the box on the 80th minute after exchanging passes with someone. Can't remember who that player was. But it all ended in a draw. So we'll look at the stats for the game itself. Expected goals. Liverpool 0.55, but they managed to get one in the net. So those stats don't really count for a lot regards what actually happened in the game. Pass accuracy. Look at that. You look at Liverpool's go, wow, 81% pass accuracy. Manchester City's is 10% higher. That is insane. 594 attempted, 539 completed. That's crazy. That's 55 passes gone amiss out of 594. That's crazy. And Liverpool's is not too bad either, is it? Look, 321 completed out of 396. That's 75 gone awry or not to correct team member throughout a whole game. That's not too shabby, but Man City's is insane. Pass accuracy 91 and 81. Possession of the ball itself 60% to Man City, 40% to Liverpool. There's a theme that I'm seeing in Manchester City's play in the last few games. They will score goals against you, but they will also leak goals. They're letting goals in. I will show you that a bit later. But regardless, a point each. Advantage maybe handed back to Arsenal slightly. Interested to see how the Tottenham Villa game goes, which is currently 1-0 to Tottenham. Started really strongly, hit the woodwork, and then eventually took the lead through Lo Celso. Oh, actually, Aston Villa have just scored. No, it looks like it's going to go to a VAR check. Yeah, Ollie Watkins is going to go to a VAR check. So I'll let you know how that one goes on. Anyway, as I said, Man City, Liverpool sharing the spoils. Now, Chelsea, did they really? This team is... It's becoming a... You don't know what you're going to get with this team, do you? You're either going to get battered or you're going to batter them, which is a far cry from the Roman Abramovich era that I remember, where Chelsea were just strong everywhere. Anyway, Newcastle 4, Chelsea 1. They took the lead, Newcastle that is, in the 13th minute through Isak, who I think is a very underrated player indeed. Sterling then equalised with a nice free kick on the 23rd minute. I actually predicted this one as a 2-1 win for Newcastle, so I got the winners correctly, but not by that much. After Chelsea equalised, then Newcastle went into overdrive in the second half. Lascelles, Joe Linton with a rare goal, and then Anthony Gordon, who is becoming very, very popular. He's becoming he's becoming a cult figure up in Newcastle. Stats for the game itself. Now you look at that. Expected goals 2.2 for Newcastle. They scored 4. 0.6 for Chelsea, and they got 1. These figures, they don't really mean everything, but as long as you've got possession of the ball, you'll be able to do something. But even then, you may not have a lot of the ball. It doesn't mean you're not going to be able to win the game or draw. Attempted from Newcastle 476, completed 411. That's 86%. That's really nice. 405 from Chelsea, completed 337. Pass accuracy of 83%. That's not too bad either. So two really good teams, but up top is where it counts. Shots on target 5 for Newcastle, off target 4. Slightly lower for Chelsea, on target 4, off target 3. But nevertheless, Newcastle take the points with a 4-1 win and move on, take the 3 points. This game was entertaining to say the least. Notts Forest 2, Brighton 3. I predicted this as a 2-0 away win for Brighton, so I got the winner correct, but not by that much. This is, as I said, with Luton Town against my boys. Notts Forest, this is what will get you points in games against the teams that are in your mini league. You know what I mean by that? That's the teams that are around you. If you can get something from those, in particular 3 points, you will push the person who you're beating lower or keep them underneath you in the table. So, Notts Forest, hard luck, good battling team they are. Against a Brighton team, that's a really good result, because this team, I think, will finish top 8. Nevertheless, Alanga scored early on for Notts Forest on the 3rd minute. Then Ferguson scored for Brighton. João Pedro had 2 goals in quick succession on 45 and 56 with a penalty. Then Gibbs White with a 73rd minute penalty, setting up a frantic last 15-20 minutes. Goal expectancy of 1.7 for Forest and 1.5 for Brighton. Yet again, showing that doesn't really mean anything in an actual game, because it's all about chances, opportunities. 460, 376 completed with an 82% pass accuracy for Forest. 551, 478 completed with 87% pass accuracy. Really nice figures. 54 to 46 in Brighton's favour. But we'll have a look at the table a bit later. Forest, hard luck guys, but losing by the odd goal out of 5 is not really a big shame if you're playing a team the calibre of Brighton. Next one, Sheffield United 1, Bournemouth 3. I predicted this as a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. So, yet again, I got the winner correct. It's not the forecast. Excuse me. Tavernier on the 12th minute with the lead for Bournemouth. Clivert on 45th minute into extra time, 4 minutes. Tavernier again on 51, and then McBurney with a late strike very deep into injury time, 7 minutes into the injury time. But Bournemouth come away with the points. Bournemouth, I'm trying to... Yeah, I did it 2-1. I predicted that as a 2-1, but Bournemouth got it on a 3-1. Let's have a look at the stats for the game. This is where you see the figures sliding for the teams that are... You know, the teams that are around about where my team is, the Palace figures. You see the figures slipping. They're not in the 80s, they're in the 70s, which means you give the ball away a bit more. A team that's in your league will take advantage of that. Teams that are in a higher league, I mean the teams that are in the top 6 are in a higher league than these two teams, for example. These two teams need to win the mini league that they're involved in. It will involve obviously those two, Sheffield United, Bournemouth, Burnley, Palace, maybe Wolves, all those sort of teams. But Sheffield United looking a bit precarious at the moment. 67% pass accuracy for Sheffield United as a home team, 76% for Bournemouth. Great away win, by the way, for Bournemouth. Go up to Sheffield and take the points all the way from the sunny south coast, or a wintry south coast at the moment. 45% possession for Sheffield United, 55 to Bournemouth. But as we say, the score on the door does not lie. Let's quickly go on to today's game. Tottenham Villa currently in progress. That goal was given. It was ruled out by VAR, the Watkins strike. But Pau Torres did get an equaliser after 7 minutes of injury time. What is it with the injury time? We need to find out what the injury time is. Is it 30 seconds for wasting time for a certain thing? If someone's booked for wasting time, is it an extra minute? We need to know what these are, because we're just getting 7, 11, 12 minutes. Palace's game yesterday had 12 minutes in the second half, including what was in the first half. I think there was 15, 16 minutes extra time in total. That's nearly a third of one half. We can't be having that much time without an explanation of what is punishable with an amount of time for a certain offence. 30 seconds for holding up a free kick, 30 seconds for not taking a goal kick quicker enough. We can't just have 8 minutes unexplained. And VAR really need to pull their finger out regards the technology is there. There's nothing wrong with VAR. I have to say that, in my honest opinion, there's nothing wrong with VAR. It's the way it's being used. And it has to be run by an independent board, not the Premier League. It has to be run, in my opinion, by... Is it 3 people that are on the... I think it's 3 people. One person looks at the camera and makes a recommendation and then sends it back to the ref. If it comes back to them, there's another person who they consult, from what I understand. I'm not sure if that is 100% correct. If you can put that in the comments down below, guys. I'm not 100% on that. But what that should be a current ref, a retired ref, and a former respected with 10, 12 years previous experience footballer. It doesn't have to be Premier League, but it has to be someone who knows. Like an ex-footballer will say that's a dive. That they were trying to take advantage by doing this, doing that. Then the decisions are going to be more accurate. We can't have VAR taking 4 or 5 minutes with a decision, and then managers saying that players are fatigued and there's a lot of like hamstring and knee injuries and stuff. That's because of the stopping and starting. You can't have games stopping and starting because the players are cooling down, and then they're pulling. In my opinion, it's because of like the amount of time that VAR it holds the game up. We need to hold, we need to look at it. It's too slow. Fix it. Get it right. Independent ball to make decisions on these decisions. Refer it back. Done. How does it work so quick in other sports like tennis and cricket? You see the decision and it's just done. This is the biggest. It's the biggest league in the world, and this is the biggest. This is the massive sport in the world, the biggest sport in the world, and it's just been spoilt by this stupid, relentless time. It's how can you take 4 minutes to have a look at it? I don't know. I'm going to pass it to you. You're going to pass it back to me. We're going to look at it again. Oh, I don't know. Let's not make a decision at all. Let's give it back to the ref. Well, that's what the ref did in the first place. So you're not going to support him. You're even going to support him. But then when he's made a decision, you can't say that you're going to ban him for a week, drop him down to a lower league because he made a bad decision. You back him. You can't do that to a referee who you are then saying has made a bad decision. It's not a bad decision. You supported him in it. It's a good decision because it was the right decision because of the people that helped to make the decision. Right. That's Baller's rant over. Let's move on to the stats for this game. Really fast start to this game. Tottenham hit the post through Kulusevski. Son then, I think it was Son, had a really good chance. Then Lo Celso took the lead. Then Watkins had a goal ruled out through VAR, which took, I don't know, was it 4.5 minutes again? But as I said, Pau Torres, 7 minutes into injury time. Where does his injury time come from? No one knows. It hasn't been explained to anyone. But look at those figures there. Pass accuracy. This is the difference between the one I just showed you and this game. The level of not only the players but the teams as a whole. 91% pass accuracy from Tottenham. 86% from Aston Villa. Now, what you get when you have that amount of pass accuracy, not only are you keeping the ball more, you're giving it away less. So you can't be hurt. Passes completed and attempted. 357, 325 for Tottenham. 91% pass accuracy. 183, 157 completed. 86% pass accuracy. I'm predicting, I predicted this will be a 3-1 to Tottenham. So we'll have to wait and see. It's currently on in the background now. I'm watching it. It's the 54th minute and it's still 1-0. Tottenham breaking into the box. Lovely flick back from Son. Oh, just put across the box. Just missed from tapping it in. Stays 1-0. Everton, Man United. Everton. Right. Everton. What do you think you've been punished for? Because I'm hearing a lot of, they feel as though they're being victimised because of Team X and Team Y were given a lighter offence of this, that and the other. But this is the first, more or less everyone's looked at this as a test case. This is how severe they're going to be if you break the laws. And I understand Manchester City have got outstanding cases to answer, and so have Chelsea from memory. I think it's just Man City and Chelsea that I can remember. And Manchester City's is the larger of those two. So we're going to have to see where they go. But if Everton were given clear guidelines of what they can and can't do regards financial fair play, the FFP ruling, which means you can overspend what your budget is compared to your income, compared to your outgoing. And the reason Chelsea signed so many players on 8-year contracts is that so they can spread that cost across the 8 years of the contract. Everton were found guilty of breaching the ceiling for that figure, that 105 million figure, making huge losses at the same time, therefore breaking the rules. So I'm not sure what the fans are complaining about. Maybe someone can put me right. If you can, let me know. That's what the comments are there for. But in my opinion, Everton broke the rules. They signed all these players. They spent over their budget and they've been punished for it. And did Everton actually have an upturn in form regards their performances? Well, in my opinion, I can't say they could. They survived very luckily in the last 2, maybe 3 seasons. One of them was against my team. Very, very lucky. We were 2-0 up at Aston Villa. Palace were 2-0 up at Goodison Park at half time, and somehow I still can't understand how we managed to lose that game 3-2. Everton a really poor team at that time, and they don't seem to have got much better. But you've got to factor in the point that they spent all this money on new signings. What has happened to their form? Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with the Manchester City and Chelsea cases. But it does look like the people who make them decisions have given themselves, what's that saying? Made a rod for their backs now. They're going to have to stand up and do something to those teams of equal punishment, if not harder, because they have to equate it compared to what Everton did and the punishment they got, and then balance that against what they're being accused of and how many points punishment they get. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats. Let's have a look at the stats for the Premier League. Goals. Erling Haaland still leading the way with 14, followed by Salah on 10, Bowen and Heung-min Son on 8. Heung-min Son quite close today for Tottenham, but as yet nothing. Isak, Newcastle, and his teammate Wilson on 7. Then comes Ferguson, Hechan and Jackson. Assists, Pedro Neto still leading the way with 7. Trippier for Newcastle on 6. Then you have Doku, Man City, and Maddison, Tottenham, who's out for a little while with injury. Saka's just come back from injury from Arsenal on 5, along with Salah, Ward-Prowse and Watkins, who could get quite further up into second place if he assists a goal today against the Spurs. Passes, Lewis Dunk leading the way with 1, 2, 4, 3, followed by Rodri on 1100, Saliba, Silva, Trippier and Diaz. Now you look at the teams there that have got the higher pass sets. You've got Brighton leading the way, then you've got Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea, then Brighton, then Newcastle, then Man City. They're the teams that keep hold of the ball, knock it around, wait for you to make a mistake, and then put the ball in your net. It works. Clean sheets. Sam Johnson, my boys, Crystal Palace, 5 sheets. Clean. Right, so what does that mean you've done to the other sheets? So we've got 5 clean sheets out of, hold on, how many games? 4, however many it is. If 5 of those clean sheets are taken away from the amount of games that we played, it means that we've been battered in the other ones, because we're less than halfway up the table. Anyway, don't start me off. Nick Pope on the same as Johnson with 5 clean sheets. Then comes Becker of Liverpool, Onana of Manchester United. I think this guy's really underrated. He's been given an absolute terrible time at Manchester United. He was a decent keeper at where was he at before? I'm not too sure. Was it Italian team? I'm not too. 12 appearances, 4 clean sheets for Onana. So he's got a 25% lockout. Let's actually compare that with Sam Johnson. Yeah, not too great at all. Just want to go back to see, did I miss where it says, was it Juventus or? No, it doesn't say. No. Anyone who can let me know where Man United signed Onana from? It's definitely an Italian team. I'm not too sure. Was it Inter Milan? AC Milan? I'm not too sure. Right. Is this the Arsenal B goalkeeper or the Arsenal A goalkeeper? In my opinion, the Arsenal manager has made a right bollocks, a right rickets with what he's done, signing David Raya to compete with what was the number one Arsenal goalkeeper. Name slips me at the moment, but why did Arsenal need to sign a goalkeeper? It just baffles me. It's one of the things that's been sticking in my head the last month or so. I'm not too sure why Arsenal need to. It's just, why did you need to sign a goalkeeper? Same with Crystal Palace. We signed Dean Henderson when we signed Jack Butland, let him leave to go to Rangers, had Sam Johnson, then we signed Dean Henderson. Apparently, did we know, or he's got a history for Aston Villa have just taken the lead through Ollie Watkins, 61st minute. So Ollie Watkins goes up that league, not only for goal scorers, but finishes, etc. I'm trying to find what the name of the flipping Arsenal goalkeeper's name is. Right, here we go. Where is he? No, not there, is he? Ah, there you go, Aaron Ramsdale. Now, someone who's of an Arsenal descent, no, if that's your club, why did Arsenal need to sign David Raya when Aaron Ramsdale, as far as I can remember last season, did he do anything drastically wrong? Was he not following instructions? What did he do wrong? Why did this guy need to be signed to, in my opinion, upset the apple cart? Because it hasn't worked out. Anyway, we move on to the form table. The last 6 games form table. Aston Villa, right up there. Look, played 6, won 4, drawn 1, lost 1. 17 goals scored, 7 against, and 10 goal difference. Nice. 10 goal difference. 10 goals in 6 games would be very good. But you scored 17 in no 6. That's nearly 6. Nearly 3 goals per game. Their last 6, they're 1 lost, 1 drawn, and currently they're winning 2-1 at Tottenham after being 1-0 down. Points per game, 2.17. Clean sheets. This is one of the things with Aston Villa. 0% clean sheets. They will concede, but they'll always try and outscore you. Fail to score only in 17% of their games. Both teams to score. As I said earlier on, I wanted to show you these figures with Manchester City. I think theirs is one of the only ones that's it's equally high. And I'm looking down that list there, you can see Wolves is both teams will score in their games. But this figure here, number of percent of matches where the total goals ended above 2.5. So that means basically 3, because you can't have more than 2.5 without it being 3. 2/3 of their games ended with 3 or more goals being scored, which is exactly what's happened today. They're winning 2-1 away from home at Tottenham after being 1-0 down. So this team is really strong. Their next game, currently in progress, that's why it still says Tottenham. Arsenal, same record. 6-4-1-1, goals for 12 against 4, goal difference of 8. 13 points with a win, lost, win, drawn, 1. 50%. So every other game they keep a clean sheet. First to fail to score in only 17% of their games. Yet again, that both teams to score. They give you 1/3 of a chance to score against them, but yet again, these teams that keep the ball, pass it around, move it around, wait for you to make a mistake and then punish you, they will score more than 2.5. So yet again, they will score 3 goals in 50% of their games. You have to be very careful that sooner or later one of the so-called smaller teams is going to get a battering from one of these teams. They keep the ball and move it around and just like make you look as though you're a manhole cover that's coming open at will, and just they're sticking the ball in your net. Anyway, that's the form table. If you can see your team there, let's have a look at where's my boys. Look, form table: 1-6, 1-1, drawn 1, lost 4. 6 goals scored in 6 games. This is one of our great weaknesses. We've needed a striker since, in my opinion, probably Glenn Murray left, and we're missing Wilf Zaha terribly. The guy was unbelievable for Crystal Palace. He was always the person who made something happen, and if he wasn't there, I was very worried. That's becoming the problem with what's happening now. There was a reason to be worried, and that's being shown. We've got these 2 centre-halves that everyone's apparently after. Joachim Andersen, awful howler yesterday, absolutely terrible. This is a bad mistake for a school park, over Hackney Marshes footballer to make. This is an international level footballer who apparently everyone is after. Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Newcastle. Same with Mark Gay. We've got these players who are worth combined 150 million, 180 million, whatever it is. Don't think so, not on this showing. Sell them. Get some money, get someone else in. These 2 are clowns. Clean sheets for my boys, 33%. First to score, only 30. Foul to score, 33%. And listen, I'll just move on from this because it's shocking. Right, the actual table live, including Aston Villa leading Tottenham currently with 22 plus stoppage to go. That's why they've overtaken them in the table. Aston Villa going great guns this season, moving up into the Champions League places. Tottenham dropping down into 5th. So we'll look at the... Let's start up here. Yeah, Arsenal have. This is my prediction for... I'm going to put my prediction for the final table. I did it a few weeks back. I'm going to put it in at the end of the video. My prediction is Arsenal to win the league. They've gone back above Man City by 1 point due to these 2 batting it out yesterday and holding each other. So Arsenal got their points late on in their game and snuck above them. Very, very tight up the top there. That's 30, 29, 28, 26. Yeah, all very tight and very competitive. Luton, I've done my predictions. I think this team will end in that position at this team's expense. Just saying. Sheffield United off the bottom of the table. A little while back they were bottom, but that's very, very close down the bottom there. Sheffield United on 5, Everton on 4, and Burnley on 4 as well. One last thing before we go, guys. Crystal Palace fan myself. Sad news today that Terry Venables passed away after battling a long illness. Best wishes go out to his family and his friends. Just have a quick look at Terry's player history there with Chelsea for 7 seasons. A total of 237 appearances, 31 goals. Moved then on to Tottenham. Then a brief spell abroad. Then come back to Queen's Park Rangers before a short stint of 14 appearances with my boys, Crystal Palace. Total appearances for his career, 619 appearances with 62 goals. So he will get you a goal 1 in every 10 games. But his game was getting the ball and maintaining control of the midfield. This is a player who was born in the era where pitches were heavy. So he was a battler, a slogger. He was involved in the era where he had the Chelseas and the Leeds and the dogged teams. Let's have a look at his managerial career with my boys. 76 to 80. Basically brought through loads and loads of youth players. Billy Gilbert, Peter Nicholas, Vince Hilaire, Ian Walsh, Jim Cannon, to name but a few. We were dubbed the team of the 80s because of this man's sterling work. 36.5% win accuracy. You look down here, then went on to Queen's Park Rangers, abroad to Barcelona, then with Tottenham, England manager. This is the England manager at the time of It's Coming Home. Do you remember that tournament? Great chance for England but we just can't seem to do it, can we? Went to Australia, come back to Crystal Palace, Middlesbrough, and then Leeds. Total career record for managerial: 864 played, 379 won, 249 drawn, and 236 lost, with an overall 44% win accuracy, or win percentage. Really top man. Was very lucky to meet him on an occasion. It was in early 80s in a game against someone, I'm not sure. Managed to shake his hand as he was going down the tunnel, and he was always available for comment. Really nice guy. And from everyone who you affected through your personality, Terry, your football, and your beliefs that football should be played a certain way. We hope you rest in peace, everyone here at iChatBall. And our best wishes go with Terry's family and friends. My name's Baller, and I'm done. That was iChatBall. Until the next one, see ya.